And because I self-center myself, you know what it means to self-censor yourself. What I share, what I don't share, and why I don't share what I don't share, why I would not share it, which is the sensing, your capacitor, your accretion levels. So I was listening to the song of Aurora, the Tuscarora, the Iroquois Confederation, the tribal bands, and how it all sort of, I always just prefer to call it a full circle of fire. The first fire circle, the eternal spirit of fire, which is the eternal spirit of absolute pure love, the eternal breath of Kamaloati, the still point, the first eye, in the first tornado, the first vortex, spinning sound and light as one, and experiencing breathing as one. And so that's why when I become aware of others that make, if you will, reversal spin or negative comments about the founder race's original teachings, Christosophia. And so I don't get bogged down in what we call splitting atoms, magnet splitting atoms, hydrogen, hydrolase, the organic water code. And so I try and keep this simple, okay? Because if you look at the very core, which is called a core CPU, the core encryption code, the noble planet code, which is a core identity, which is the core template of the original Earth. Earth, or Earth-Ra, 3, Mama's 3 spheres logos. So ever since I lit myself on fire, and I've been self-monitoring myself as it relates to the biovoltage transmutation speed, right? I'm burning off artificial phantom timelines, otherwise what's known as false light appearing as real, and it's not real because we know what real light is, which is what love is that goes on forever, gifting electrons, right? To build capacitors and planetary Merkaba systems, to experience breathing as one. And so when you look at those Christic teachings, and you look at the map reads of the mathematics, which is the geometric form and flow of creation, celestial mechanics, energy, then you realize by the way that some of those are worded, aside from Ashiana, you had Michael Dean, and other speakers who were sharing what you'll notice in the English language called what? Techniques. Techniques as in technology or biotechnology techniques. So, for example, what I do, as I just got done doing when I work with the sun, anchored to the core of Earth core, the inner lungs, the inner breathing. What I practice every day is called a technique. That technique is a breathing technique. To breathe 0 degrees separation from the first star, the first spiral, the first spin, the first code, the first spirit code, the first water code, organic water code, a proto, the first water code of plasma. And so what I do is I'm fine-tuning my breathing technique with the sun and earth core. So I'm seeing through the sun a reflection of what I am on the inside, what I'm now experiencing on the outside, which is the outer domains of what the sun is reflecting back to me, by what it's reflecting back to me, what I am on the inside, my core encryption, right? The core encryption, which represents our true solar rishi, solar code, flame order, identity. The flame orders, as in organization of flames, fire letters, the fire codes. So we're experiencing the codes and expressing the codes, which is breathing the codes, the original codes. So what I'm experiencing is the codes that were presented through the maps of the founder race's original teachings. So that's what I'm working with every day, is mastering the temp, the thermal gradients between fire and ice crystals, right? ice crystals, fire and ice become one. Fire and water are one in equal balance, so that we experience an equilibrium state of zero at the completion of every circuit upon which we're breathing, the inner and the outer, at the completion of a circuit. The speed, or if you will, the tempo, which is the technique. So yes, it does have everything to do with breathwork, which is perfecting your breathing technique. Perfection is perfect, geometric, structural, spiritual integrity of the mathematical, geometric form and flow of waves of communication between the inner and the outer domains. The communication system of the cosmos, the first flame order. So that's what I do out here every day, is perfecting. Right? When you think of modifying, is improving the technique. Perfecting the technique is perfecting the breath work to experience zero when we're in transmutation mode. Burning off phantom lines of communication, which are the input signals of what we experience through demonic software. Yep. So those are the interference patterns that are interfering with what? Our breathing technique. So that our breathing technique isn't in synchronous torsion field balance to zero out the waves or the lines of communication. So we're experiencing the first breath, the first tempo, the rhythm. The rhythm as the form and the flow of that wave, the waveform vibration and frequency modulation of our spheres. The 144, the double diamond, rainbow gyrodomes are up and online. So we're improving the technique, the breathing technique, so that every living cellular spiritual organism of cellular organization of the morphogenetic field structure is experiencing calm waters with no distortions, no turbulence, and no interference patterns being interrupted, so that our breathing tempo is distorted. So we're experiencing zero interference patterns because we're experiencing 0 degrees at the exact center point of a magnet, which is a cell as a cell phone. The pH is 0. Have a beautiful day. We love you all. Improving the breathing temp, the tempo, the metronome. Yeah,